Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is a mid-March 2023 love reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past, present, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight. And that's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Six of Arrows. So this is actually an Aquarius energy here. And it could just be saying that in the past you might have actually moved on from a conflict with this person, or possibly if you went through a conflict with others, you might have been creating some distance from that situation as well. But given that this Aquarius energy for you guys is ninth house, it could just be saying that you might have seen things from a higher perspective around the situation. All right, past energy on their side, we have a couple of cards. We have the Ten of Wands, Sagittarius energy, and the High Priestess. So, seeing this energy here, it could just be saying that they too might have felt the need to leave the situation behind. And for some of you, it could just be saying that they might have also realized that they still had some growing to do. So, in a way, I feel like both of you actually might have realized you had some growth to do after connecting with each other. And due to that, there might have been a split between the two of you, even if it was just one of those things where karmically the two of you might have been split apart in the past for a bit. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Six of Cups. So, traditionally, this is definitely a card that could refer to reconciliation energy. And what always stands out to me with the artwork of this card in particular is we see the Four Cups on one side of the water, and then we see the Two Cups with the two people on the other side of the water. So that makes me think of that Four of Cups energy, which usually represents offers coming your way that you're not necessarily pleased with, right? So this could just be saying, representing the time that you spent apart from this person, and through doing so, you might have realized that you actually were happier with this person. So it could definitely point to reconciliation in that regard. And present energy on their side, we have the Ten of Cups. So yeah, looks like a pretty strong feeling of love on their end as well. So that's what I'm primarily picking up on with this reading so far, was that in the past, you both might have had some growing to do, which could have led to a separation, and now in the present, it looks like from that time apart, you guys are actually finding the connection to be somewhat stronger in the present. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Nine of Staves. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here, and it could just be saying that you might find yourself feeling a little bit guarded around the situation in the future. Possibly because, it could just be one of those things where to go from this energy where it looks like I said, there could have been some conflict, or at the very least some tension that could have led to a separation in the past. Now in the present, things seem to be really good, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might start to get up in your head a little bit and think to yourself, okay, well, is this going to last, or is it going to go back to the situation from the past, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're finding yourself feeling a little bit of resistance because of the past that the two of you might have had, but there's no real indicator that that would actually play out. So I feel like it's more of a mental thing. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, this is usually a pretty open, nurturing energy. It's a Cancerian energy, but maybe for some of you that could even be what it is, right? Because as far as the emotional connection, maybe you might feel a little bit overwhelmed with it, right? Because on the more negative end, sometimes that Queen of Cups energy can feel a little bit overwhelming to someone who's not typically used to being in tune with their emotions to that level. So could be how it plays out for some of you. But either way, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a huge deal. I just feel like you'll feel that energy flare up in you a little bit to where you just feel a little bit guarded with the situation. But it looks like they're in it for the long haul, and I feel like this is saying that they'd even be understanding of the fact that, if you do end up coming across as a bit guarded, they'll probably be patient with that too. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Nine of Arrows. So this is actually a Gemini energy here too. So yeah, could just be saying that you might just have a lot of anxiety around the situation. Again, like I said, I feel like if we even look at the artwork there, you see that angelic type figure passing an arrow or attempting to pass an arrow to her, which the arrows represent communication. You see the other arrows are pointed in this direction as well. So it could just be one of those things where you might even be guided to reconnect with this person, but there could just be some anxiety around that. And like I said, most likely because of some kind of split that happened between the two of you in the past. All right, bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is Aries energy here, and it could just be saying that they might actually be the ones that are more likely to take the initiative at this time, and possibly because they too realize, so for you it seems like more of an anxiety situation, but on their end they might realize that, okay, I'm actually a little bit bored and unfulfilled without Gemini in my life. So it could just be one of those things that could even just be pointing to timeline wise that as we move through Aries season, from late March to the first few weeks of April, that could be what lights that spark in them to want to come back around. All right, so moving on to your Oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. And what I'm going to be looking for is unspoken messages from you to them and then from them to you. So we'll see what comes up. Oh, almost had one there. All right, and got one there. And next we'll see what we get from them to you. And got one there. So let's see what we got on your side first. Okay, we have why. It says, I don't know what has happened between us. If you're confused, I'm confused too. Yeah, so interesting message there. Because like I said, it just seems like there was something. Initially, I was saying maybe there was an actual conflict that might have led to the two of you splitting. But for some of you, I also mentioned that, hey, it actually could have been something where karmically, the two of you might have been separated because there was this feeling that you both had some work to do, some healing to do. So that might have even been what it was, right? Where there wasn't a real clearly defined reason as to why the two of you did split in the past. And then the nostalgia could be coming up for you guys in the present. So I can see how that could play out. And then on their side, we have no strings. It says, well, I want you close to me, but I'm not ready for a commitment. So interesting energy there, because at the very least, that could have been what was at play in the past, given that, like I was saying, with the Ten of Wands and that High Priestess, I've had a feeling that they might have been the ones who might have been a bit more likely to have been the ones who withdrew, and with the realization that they did have some more growing, some more healing to do. So that could have been the situation that you guys were dealing with. But given that we do see the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Cups in the future, I feel like that's more of a past energy for them, for the majority of you, and that they actually would be moving toward the desire for a commitment as we move toward the future. So hopefully that resonates with you. All right, and lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom Oracle deck, but just a single card here to give us general advice to wrap the reading up with. Nope, got one there. Okay, you guys got co-create. There's the artwork, and the number is 40. All right, let's see what it has to say. Okay, the relationship message says, connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you never would have come to on your own. You are looking in a mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you kept the art open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. See, the part where it says you are going to be so happy that you kept the art open, that makes me think of what we were talking about there, where you might be feeling some resistance with that Nine of Staves. So like I said, I feel like it's more or less going to be a bit of a natural reflex for you, where you think back to, okay, yes, things are great right now, but I think back to what happened in the past, right? Where, like I said, given the reading it in its entirety now, it seems like it's a little bit more likely this person might have been the one who did leave the connection. But I feel like this is saying, to try to keep your heart open and just be patient with the situation and with yourself more than anything, right? But yeah, it definitely looks like this connection has some potential to get back on track. So hoping that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.